we've got the Raiders, huh? Las Vegas
Raiders.
Raiders. Big season last year. They got second in the AFC West. I won that bet. That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
They had a good draft. I think they had a good offseason, man. Where do you want to start with the Raiders?
Well, let's just kind of recap from last year. Let's take a look at that schedule, see how the season ended up. They wound up, found their head coach of the future here. We don't know how that's going to pan out just yet, but I do like Antonio Pierce, like what he was able to get out of this team. This is a team that went to the Super Bowl champs, defeated them at home. I don't think they had their quarterback complete a pass after like the first quarter or something in that game when they defeated the Chiefs up there. But
that was
a
crazy
gross game, bro. But
that was this one, the 20-14 win, and O'Connell had only 62 passing yards.
I don't think he had a passing yard after the first quarter.
Yeah, it was gross.
But you see a guy that obviously a lot of the players were lobbying for Antonio Pierce to be the head coach and all that, and it wound up that's what they went with. And so I'm anxious to see this team. They've added a lot of key pieces in the off season there. So
was it McDaniels?
Josh McDaniels was there, for the first.
God, why does that feel like forever ago? I don't know why, but yeah, Josh McDaniels gets fired. Do you remember what week he got fired? It was pretty early on. It was
6 or 7, something like that, before the midway point of the season there.
And then Antonio Pierce took over as interim, and then they just decided, hey, we're going to pay you because we're already paying 2 other coaches. And we know we can get you on the cheap since you're a first-time head coach. So, yeah, they got their guy, Antonio Pierce. But, hey, after he took over, I mean, they fought hard for him, and
they did.
You had your issues with Garoppolo, and once again, he's out, and then they ended up sitting him just because they don't want to guarantee his contract or anything like that. So, the Aiden O'Connell taking over. He had a couple decent games, but yeah, they finished up 8-9. I think that was way better than what people expected after how they kind of started off slow there. And then they made some moves this offseason. One of their moves, we'll get over to the transaction here in a second. I want to show you this. I was looking over this last night. What do we? You don't pay a guy what you paid Gardner Minshew and tell me that he's second on the depth chart to Aiden O'Connell, please.
Gardner's a career backup, bro.
He's gonna start this. You don't have Aiden. You're not
after Aiden O'Connell gets hurt in week 2 or 3, man.
Are you gonna tell me you paid Gardner Minshew $25 million?
I would play Gardner over him too, but I mean, let's just be real. Anybody that gets Gardner is looking at Gardner as a backup. They expect Gardner to be the starter at some point in time in this season.
100% agree with that. But when your starter is Aiden O'Connell, what are we doing?
I don't disagree. I do not disagree, man. I put the Gardner out there myself, and I think we'll see it sooner than later. But they had some other key pieces that, obviously the departure of Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs gone. Hold on, let me go.
Go to your over the cap, man. That's probably the best way to do that.
Yeah, I'm doing that. They got all these damn pop-up ads and stuff like that. We got over the cap moves here. Actually, you like over the cap. I like Spot Track.
Spot Track? That's a pretty good one, too. Yeah, you're right, Pedro. Yeah, that defense kind of shored up a little bit. They got Jared Verse in the draft, big defensive end out of Florida State there. And so I think that's a good pickup to help bolster that defense with Max Crosby and those guys. Find it?
I did. I just was like, can I zoom out? Like, what are we doing? This is kind of...
Man.
Anyways. So here's what we got. They are 30th in cap allocation. How much cap space do they have?
That can't be
I
good.
don't think they have much cap space. Dude, why is this so zoomed in? Whoa, you zoomed in. I guess that's as far as we can go back. All right, anyways.
Okay, it doesn't look that zoomed in on for us. It looks normal to us.
Oh, for me, it looks terrible. But okay, we'll go with it. So their biggest cap hits this season is going to be Matt Crosby, Devontae Adams, Colton Miller. I guess you got to pay your left tackle.
Yeah,
really, it's only just Devontae Adams and Matt Crosby. Damn, they're paying $55 million for those two cap.
Yeah, I mean,
quarterback. Look at that. Gardner Minshew 6 in cap hit on your team.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have him as a backup. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Maybe this is just because we haven't had to they're still in just OTAs and stuff now, so you haven't seen them go through camp and all that. I wouldn't surprise me to see Gardner take that job away from him before week 1.
You think? Yeah, it just shocks me that they even have it. I feel
didn't
like
realize Garoppolo went to the Rams. People still taking chances on that bum.
Yeah, he's just gonna be one of those guys, right?
He is. They did bring Michael Gallup over from Dallas. One of those key kind of possession receivers. Had a lot of injury problems over the last couple years for the Cowboys, but if he can stay healthy, he's been semi-productive wide receiver. He got kind of peaks and valleys for that guy. But Alexander Madison, never could really solidify his footing there in Minnesota. Comes over now, and you're probably going to be kind of a running back by committee down there.
So you got the free agents signing and re-signings here. Emil Abdullah, Andre James, Christian Wilkins, Kanya Maga, Gardner Minshew. Okay, no, I don't want to subscribe. Harrison Bryant, John Jenkins, Adam Butler, Alexander Madison, Isaiah Polamau, Jordan Meredith, Cody Whitehair, Michael Gallup, Jalen Guyton, Andrus Peat. There you go. So that's our free agencies.
Go back to that draft pick. Go to those draft picks.
We're going there. We're going there. I just want to. There we go. And then draft picks that they had. The big one, which I think was great, especially when you got young quarterbacks, or I don't want to say
Gardner Minshew not really
young at this.
Did they not get Jared Verse? Who got Jared Verse? I could have sworn it was them.
Who the heck is Jared Verse?
That big defensive end. Where did he wind up going? What am I thinking?
Jared Verse. He's a football defensive lineman.
I understand that. For who?
His current team is the Los Angeles Rams. That's according to the internet, man. Google doesn't lie.
I don't know, man. Maybe my years are running together here. I don't know.
Let's see. He was the 19th pick in the 2024 NFL draft, drafted to the Los Angeles Rams. He's 23 from Dayton, Ohio. 6'4", 260 pounds. What else do you want to know about him? He went to Central Columbia High School.
Nothing. Don't care anymore.
When we get to the Rams, you can talk all about him. They took Brock Bowers in 13th overall. Great pick, I think, by the Raiders. I mean, what else were they going to go for there? There wasn't, by that point, there really wasn't a quarterback of the future that you wanted to gamble on. The stud wide receivers were gone. They've already, in the offseason, we just saw they re-signed, they signed, a couple of linemen and whatnot. So why not go get you a tight end of the future, huh? Right? I know you were really high on Brock Bowers.
I love Brock Bowers, man. I thought he was, I still think he's probably going to be the best pro out of this entire draft, man. We've seen this guy play a lot of football. Had a little bit of injury problem last year, Georgia, with a high ankle sprain, stuff like that. But just a guy you couldn't really take a chance with if he wasn't 100% healthy. But he is, he's a Travis Kelce type guy, Gronk type guy that I think is going to have a long career in the NFL. I think he's going to wind up being a very good player and all pro and all that stuff, man. And I thought this guy fell way. I thought there was no reason this guy should have ever made it out of the top 10. I understand in the top 10 you got some needs and all that stuff, but I think the Raiders got an absolute steal here at 13.
Yeah. And then second round, I think Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon. Great pick there. I like that one. Center out of Oregon. Delmar Glaze. You're the college football guy. Does any of these names stand out to you?
That's what I was trying to look at there. I don't see any that ring a bell. Big time. Not to say these guys can't be great players in their own right. They're going to work.
Maybe that'll help you. That way you can see the school and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't recognize a lot of those names there.
All right. I'm just asking.
More unsung heroes in that.
Well, I mean, I don't mind it. You got the center for Oregon. He's good.
Yeah, most of the time, these guys like this, these drafts like this, will wind up being the better ones for you. You got a lot of guys coming in with chips on their shoulder, ready for something to prove.
Let's see. What else? What offseason news do we have from them before we get into their schedule and whatnot? Ex-Raider Jones pleads no contest, may avoid jail. Okay. Let's see. There was rumors that Devontae Adams wanted to get out of Vegas, but he has said he is committed to staying there. So you got Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers there, and then you got what was it? What did we just say? Gallup and them that they brought in.
Gallup and Jalen Guyton.
Yeah, so they got some weapons. You got Brock Bowers in there, and then Patriots says Raiders defense is the team. That's true. I mean, as long as that defense is going to be fired up and going, as long as you got Matt Crosby over there healthy, that defense is going to be dialed in. So, and isn't Pierce a defensive guy? Or is he?
Yes, he is. He is a defensive guy. Well, was one of those real good linebacker in his own right back in the day.
That's what I'm talking.
Tyree Wilson's who the hell I was thinking.
Ooh, you like to see this. You like to see a guy that is committed to the team and then taking Devontae Adams taking on teaching roles for the Raiders. You like to see that from your veterans, right? Yeah, it makes me feel like you really are dialed in and locked in.
I do. If I see you putting that extra time in all that stuff, you do like seeing that, man. Teaching some of those young guys. I was mixing Jared Verse up with Tyree Wilson, their top 10 draft pick from last year, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was thinking. Another stud defensive end. Like I said, my years run together. We have too much fun on the espresso shop, man. Time goes too fast.
It does, dude. It does. I don't know why they're giving us like all. We're on the.
Why do we have all these other players on?
I don't know. Zamir White and Alexander Madison ready to roll in Raiders revamped running back room. How about that?
I guess the Darren Waller stuff. I guess he did used to be a Raider.
I think it's a good move that they moved on from Jacobs. You know, there's some bad blood there. You didn't want to pay all that money to him anyways. Let him move on. You bring in a couple, a little 1-2 punch with White and Madison here. I don't hate it.
I don't hate it, man, because I like Amir Abdullah too. Another guy. Like I said, you have a little running back by committee right there. You're not putting too many miles on any of them. So you got the stud wide receiver outside. I like Jacoby Myers. Obviously, we all like Devontae Adams when Devontae Adams is being Devontae Adams. But add Brock
Loki
Bowers.
says the problem with the Raiders is their O-line is horrible. Yeah, but I mean they did a couple. Well, yeah, but they signed a guy and then they drafted a rookie center. So I mean,
that's fair though. Still a rookie. I mean, I know offensive linemen tend to fare better as rookies than most other positions, but still, he's still a rookie.
Yeah, but it depends on what kind of offense you want to play. I mean, he played it at Oregon, so if you wanted to get it like a more up-tempo kind of offense, that could be.
Guy's a good player. Guy's a really.
Can't think about it. That Oregon being in an Oregon style like that, if that's how you want your offense to be, and you brought in Gardner Minshew, who is used to playing that kind of style from college, right? So it's like, I don't think it's a bad move.
I'm sure a lot of
slept much, but I'm here. What?
I haven't slept much, but I'm here. Blue, you wide open all the time, bro.
Bro, I feel you. The girls woke up at, what was it? One woke up at 1, and then right as we got that one to sleep, the other one woke up at like 1:50.
Man,
I just get the tap.
You're running good right now.
I just get the tap on the shoulder, and it goes, "Go make a bottle
now."
Walk my ass downstairs. I'm always surprised that I don't, because I'm like a zombie walking, and I'm surprised I haven't just ate shit down the stairs and just slipped because I'm just stumbling down those things.
Bro, anybody that tells you Legos are the worst thing you step on in the middle of the night never had a little boy that loved dinosaurs. You step on a stegosaurus in the middle of the night, you will tear an ACL, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That's why we clean everything up before we go.
Everything, bro. It's kind of mistake you only have to make one time.
Oh, man. Anyways, and it's amazing how fast they'll destroy everything again. It's amazing.
You, man, I'm pretty sure they suck their energy directly from my soul.
Let's get into my favorite part of these previews. Now we're moving to the future. So we've seen what the Raiders have done in the offseason. We've looked at their salary cap. We looked at their draft. Okay, it's time to focus on 2024. Let's start by diving into their schedule. And for those that are new, what we like to do is play a little guess the line. So we're going to go through each game, and I'm going to guess the spread for that game, the current spread of that game. What should we set the over-under at if that I get exactly right?
2.5? Over-under will be 2.5.
Let's start the season because it's early in the season. Last year, I think we ended at like 3.5, 4.5 because I was.
You got a lot better. You were kind of tuned in at the end there.
Yeah, that was fun. So we'll set it at 2.5. You guys can make your Super James says 2.5. You guys make your bets in there over/under. How many exactly right I'm gonna get? But for right now, We've got the Raiders start off on the road, 2 road games to start the season. First one's up, a little in division, going to LA to take on Harbaugh and those Chargers, huh?
Yeah, that'd be an interesting game for week 1.
Yeah.
A lot of question marks for both squads.
Exactly. We're going to set the tone real quick to start the season.
Mhm.
Okay, they're on the road, LA Chargers. I'm going to say, man, I should have looked at season win totals. I should have looked at season win totals before doing this, so then I could get an idea of what the expectation for these teams are. But I'll say Chargers 3.5-point favorites.
Raiders +3.
Raider. Oh, okay. So I was a half a point off. I thought it was you
Yeah.
were saying the other way around.
Yeah,
+3. Damn, I was close, dude. I was close. That feels right, though. Right? That feels
Yeah,
right.
that's right on line. And it may wind up moving to that 3.5 line before it's all said and done. It may move to the 2.5 line, so it'll probably move a little bit.
If I remember correctly, we got to start counting how many I missed by the hook too, because I feel like there was one day, there was a lot of the times last year that I was just a hook off.
Yeah, there was a lot of those. I love those 5.5 lines because those are so hard to dial in.
Oh my god, those piss me off. I don't even ever want to say 5 because it's like, no, it's never going to be just 5. It's going to be 5.5.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, then they're on the road at Baltimore. God, you got to fly all the way across the country after going to LA. LA trip ain't far, but you got to fly all the way over to Baltimore. I want to say Baltimore 8.5-point favorites.
Hold on just a second. You said Baltimore. I didn't have that one. I must have missed that one.
Week 2, Sunday,
7.5.
September 15th. 7.5?
7.5. Yep.
Man. Oh, okay. All right. Then first home game of the season is against Carolina. I gotta say, Raiders 3.5-point favorites.
Raiders -4.
Another hook.
Another hook. That's
Look at me go. Look at me go.
In mid-season form already.
Mid-season form. Cleveland. So they're home against Cleveland. I want to say Cleveland 2.5-point favorites. So Raiders +2.5.
Let's see. Oh, there's one of them. Let's go.
I got it.
You're on point, man. Right on the money. Raiders +2.
That's one.
Raiders +2.5 at the Browns. At home against the Browns.
Let's go.
Well done, sir. I did not expect you to get one that quick.
What?
Not that one.
Real confident.
I thought you would have hit the first one right in the mouth, the +3.
I have this premium 1775 coffee over here that I'm drinking on, right? And you don't think I'm going to be dialed in getting these? Come on.
Well, you spilt most of it this morning.
Yeah, but I'm still on my second cup, so we're good.
That's fair. Okay. Understood.
Then they have to go to Denver. Oh, remember that crazy stat that since they've moved to Vegas, Denver hasn't beat the Raiders since Raiders have moved to Vegas. It's
that's still a thing, ain't it?
It's still a thing.
Yeah, they never did get them.
Yeah.
I
want to say
we have to start betting the Broncos every game now, right?
Oh yeah.
100%. Every game they play the Raiders. That is, y'all.
100%. I want to say the Raiders are 2-point favorites in Denver.
They are 3-point favorites. 3-point.
Wow, that's a lot of I don't think that's respect towards the Raiders. I think everyone is so down on this Denver team. That's going to be my sleeper this year. That's going to be the team that I'm going to be betting.
I lied to you. I lied to you. Sorry, I was looking at the second game. The Raiders are +1 at Denver.
Ooh, so they're down. So I was way off on that one.
Yeah,
okay.
my bad. Yeah, I was looking at the second game there. I have to go down DraftKings and try to click all these because there's 9 million options. So I have to go try to click each team. They wind up getting out of order because I'll miss one. So, yeah, but +1 at the Broncos.
Blue says, man, the contest is heating up. Are we talking about the contest over at Smoke This Red?
Probably. What other contests we got going on right now?
Ripper says he agree with that. Raiders -6. Ooh. Play along. You guys guess along with. I know there's a little bit of a delay, but guess along with us on these. So the next one is going to be home against Pittsburgh. They've got experience, playing against Russell Wilson, and they whooped his ass many a times.
Because he sucks.
So they're home against Pittsburgh. I want to say Pittsburgh's I want to say all these 1 and 2s, but that's like more of like mid-season type things. I feel like preseason you get more closer to the 2.5s and 3s on these things.
Yeah.
Because it's like, who wants to say, oh, they're a 1 point? It's I don't know. Even though we just had one, I'm gonna say Pittsburgh 2-point favorites.
Raiders +1.
Here I am saying
I
that.
loved it. I loved it. I was going to read into it. Poker Face. I was like, yeah, you're right, bro. That is more mid-season stuff. Yeah. That's right.
Got him.
Face.
I'm shocked. Books like Vegas. Yeah, they're optimistic.
They are awfully
Lou
optimistic.
says that drive-through window dispensary is kind of nice. Okay. All right. What time are we at? Okay, we're good. Then we're up. Then they got to go on the road and go take on the Rams. The Rams. I don't think the books are high on the Rams this year, but the Rams home. Rams 2.5-point favorites.
Raiders plus 4.5.
Wow. Okay. So that means they think LA's just a notch above the Raiders, which I wouldn't disagree with that.
Yeah.
Did you see Kelly Stafford came out and apologized not to her husband, but to her husband's ex-backup?
I'm over this lady.
Did you see that? I'm like, what?
I've been over this lady. I'm sorry, but I'm over this lady.
If there's anyone you're supposed to apologize to, it's to your husband. At least first and foremost.
Yeah. Hopefully she did that in their own time. Maybe Matt told her he didn't feel the need for her to go tell the whole world about it, but
look at that. Bold got it right. Plus 4.5 Rams.
Boom. Let's go.
Hey, baby. Wait, are you saying the Rams are plus 4.5? Or are you saying the Raiders?
No, Raiders are plus 4.5. They are dogs.
Okay, but he put plus 4.5 Rams, so that would mean he thinks the Raiders are minus 4.5.
Yeah, that one's in LA there. That is the Raiders are 4.5-point dogs at the Rams.
This one's interesting. So they're home against Kansas City. Now, if I was smart, I'd remember this from yesterday, but I don't.
It's never possible to remember from the day before. I feel like this happens all the time because we're doing the divisions and we never remember what it was the day before.
I think it was something crazy, wasn't it? Wasn't it something like a complete flip? Wasn't it like, no, maybe I'm thinking of Kansas City and someone else. I don't know. I'm going to say Kansas City in Vegas. Kansas City. Oh, man. 6.5-point favorites?
Yeah, you said the same thing yesterday. It's 5.5. Let's go. You said 6.5 yesterday too. Sweet.
That's pretty good though.
That's how y'all know he ain't man.
Well, I bet you by Sunday, October 27th, it's 6.5. How about that?
It might be higher than that.
Probably. Bolt says KC 9.5. Ooh. Maybe if it was in Arrowhead, but okay. And then they got to go to Cincinnati to take on Joe Burrow and them Bengals.
Tough schedule, bro.
Yeah, it ain't easy. But let's be honest though, there's not really many easy schedules in the NFL.
That's true. I mean, yeah, you're right. Even the easiest schedule is still a tough schedule.
Yeah. And then a lot of the times the schedule that we think is going to be easy turns out to not be easy because there's always surprise teams that end up being.
You're right. A lot of schedules we're looking at right now thinking are real tough are going to wind up not being as tough because some of these teams are going to fall off on, and some of the ones we don't expect to be all that tough wind up being
like last year. If you had Houston on your schedule, you weren't
worried about it at all in the beginning.
And then they show up and they smack you in the mouth, and you're like, well, whoops.
Winning playoff games and stuff, bunch of rookies.
Yep. Okay. At Cincinnati, I think Cincinnati at home 7.5-point favorites.
Raiders plus 7 at the Bengals.
Okay. God, the hook again. Then we got a week 10 bye week. Then they're going to go after the bye week. Ooh, I like it. Listen, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be betting the Raiders week 11. I like a team coming off a bye week going on the road. I don't like teams on a bye week staying at home because here's the mentality. And if you watch this trend, I'm not saying you bet it every single time, but you watch this trend. When teams come off the bye week and have to go on the road, you get back into the locker room after that week off and you're focused up a little bit more because you got to go on a business trip. Whereas if you're home, you're still kind of in vacation mode. You get a little lax, a loosey goosey, but where that just getting on a bird and having to go somewhere kind of focuses you up for the game. Does that make sense?
I can buy into that a little bit, man.
I'm telling you, it's something I've noticed over the years, and more times than not, it's a pretty good.
A lot of times those underlying themes like that, man, those little gems you find late in the weeds there. But I can buy into that and see you having to be a little more focused up by having to go on the road, travel, and all that stuff.
Yeah. So that being said, I will take the 8.5 points with the Raiders in Miami, week 11.
Well, they're getting 6.5, sir. So you have to lay a little more if you want 8.5.
I was thinking, I was like, well, they were just with Cincy. That is a tough schedule. Cincy, then Miami. Damn. I was thinking Miami, Cincy, kind of comparable, but I should have factored in the bye week. So that probably shaved off a point, right?
At least.
Yeah.
At least.
Okay. And then they're home against Denver. So they're on the road to Denver, and they're 1 point dog on there. We flip it.
I've already told you this one once.
Up.
I told you when I screwed it up just a little bit ago.
Yeah, now I'm trying to remember what that was. Hold on, let me rewind this show. Just kidding. So that's Raiders 4.5.
Raiders -3 at home against the Broncos.
What the hell? See, you should have just let me work it out in my head because
I like it. I'm using a little reverse psychology here too. I'm bluffing too.
That's right. I would have said 3.5. I would have been wrong either way. Then they got to go to Kansas City. Kansas City's got to be a 9.5 point favorite in this one.
Plus 7.5.
Okay. It's going to be 9.5 come Friday, November 29th. And then after Kansas City, they got to go to Tampa Bay. Man, they play some good defenses this year.
They do.
Then they got that experienced guy named Gardner Minshew. So at Tampa Bay, I got to believe Tampa Bay, playoff team last year, got a playoff win. People probably like to Tampa favored to win that? No, I think Atlanta's favored to win that division because of their weak schedule. But Tampa, 4.5 point favorites.
They got right now Tampa Raiders plus 2.5, but you can get that at even money right now. So it's probably more along the lines of -3, but they're listing it at 2.5 right now.
I'm giving them way too much.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know, just got to get a feel of where the market at. You can tell I haven't really looked too much into the markets.
Yeah, like I said, after we do about 7 or 8 of these, you'll be dialed in.
Yeah, or I could just go look at the season win totals of all the teams and get a feel for it real quick and be like, okay, this is. And they're home against hot Atlanta. Everyone's hyped up on Atlanta here, so I'll say I don't think Atlanta's good, but I think the market thinks Atlanta's good. Atlanta 1 point favorites.
Very nice, sir. Very nice. Raiders +1.
Wow, that one was a struggle.
I can't believe you got of all the ones I thought you were going to get. That wasn't one of them.
We're at 2 now.
We are at 2. We are at 2. We got to sweat.
You even gave me a free one, and I missed that.
We got to sweat. Let's go.
And they're home against Jacksonville. Jacksonville 3 point favorites.
Raiders +1 at home against the Jaguars.
Really?
Yeah.
That's telling me. Cricket, does that seem right? Say what you want about Jacksonville, but Jacksonville is definitely better than Atlanta. They're telling you those are the
they're way too high on Atlanta. Way too high on Atlanta. I'm going to bet the under on everything I can with them.
Super James says pick them. Man, you guys are closer than I am on that one. All right. I like you guys dropping these in the chat. I know there's a little bit of delay, but I still like looking at them, seeing where you guys are at. It's a fun little play along. Okay, 2 games left. Let's see if I can get this right. I got to get one to cash the over. At New Orleans. I don't know where the market is on New Orleans. But I will say this. Oh, when the Saints go marching. I'm saying the Saints are 2.5 point favorites.
Right on point, sir. That's the winner, man. Got
the over with 1 game to go.
With 1 game to go. Don't even have to sweat it. Let's go. Raiders +2.5 at the Saints.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's so hard to get. It's the same thing as that Buccaneers deal. They got +2.5 at even money right now. So -3 is going to be roughly the -115 or something.
I'll tell you. Ooh, look at that. Did you see what Super James threw in here? That's cool. I haven't seen that.
Oh, that
winner,
is cool,
winner,
bro.
winner. I like that.
Let's go, man. I do too. I like that a lot, man.
Yeah, buddy. All right, then we got the Chargers, huh? Okay. Week 18s are weird, especially in division. But let me see. What was week 1? What were we saying? Week 1, it was like a 3 point favorite. Yeah. Chargers 3 point favorites, right?
Back in week 1, it was Chargers 3 point favorites.
So if we flip it around, do that. I'm gonna say Raiders 1 point favorites.
Raiders 1 point dogs. Raiders +1 at home.
Only a 2 point adjustment for flipping it. I know it's the start of the season, end of the season, but you got to remember we're pricing this in now. Like,
Yeah, they had a couple like that where I thought, the Chiefs line, they only adjusted 2 points as well. I think they're 5.5.
Bold said -4 for the Chargers.
Yeah, they were 5.5 at 5.5 point dogs at home against the Chiefs, and then 7.5 point dogs on the road. So there's a couple of them that only adjusted by 2 points. It's usually more along the lines of about a field goal for home and away. That's usually the adjustment you see a lot of times, about a field goal.
Doesn't matter. We cashed you over though, so we're good.
We did cash tickets
And
already.
we actually have enough time, Cricket, to get to some of these NFL futures.
We could, man. I thought we were going to do that on Friday. We got a small baseball slate. You want to do baseball today?
Yeah, just real quick. I just want to run through. I'm not saying dive into all of them. I just want to run through the division, the Super Bowl odds, and whatnot.
Yeah, do your thing, man.
Just throw it out there. Yesterday, I wanted to get to it, but we didn't have a chance. But the Raiders are plus 1,200 to win the division, so not expected to win it. Kansas City is your favorite at -250. That right there seems like zero value.
It is zero.
I would honestly rather bet like a half unit each on the Raiders and the Broncos to win the division than bet either of the top two.
100%. That's a better sweat, man.
Yeah.
I'm never laying that kind of money on a season-long bet.
And then if you think the Raiders are going to go to the Super Bowl, you can get 50 to 1 on your money there, huh? Is this your year, Vegas? 50 to 1 if you think they're going to win the AFC. And then if you think they're going to win the whole damn thing, well, you can get 100 to 1 on your money.
Whew. Don't bet more than $1 on either one of those, y'all.
What would you rather bet? Bronny James going #1 overall or the Raiders to win the Super Bowl?
Well, at least the Raiders had the possibility, so I would have definitely rather bet the Raiders. At least the Raiders.
All right, there you have it, ladies. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There's our preview of the Raiders for the 2024 upcoming season. How about that?
Yeah, okay.
Bolt says 50 to 1 sounds light. Yeah, but that's usually how early in the season they don't like to give you like true odds on these. They don't like to give you.
Yeah, I mean, hell, a lot of people are going to throw good money after bad in those spots.
I mean, even look at the good teams up here. You're only getting plus 550 and plus 650 on the Chiefs in San Francisco. Do you know how hard it is to get back to the Super Bowl and win it? Like that's
absolutely, dude. What I'm saying,
early preseason, I can't bet. Well, I'm lying. There's one time in my life that I did bet, but it was just a fan bet that I did bet less than 10 to 1. But usually I don't like betting 10 to 1. But I was in Vegas and I slapped $100 down on my Patriots to win it. They won it.
That's fair.
They won it. It was nice.
Yeah, that's fair. It feels good when that plan comes together, don't it?
Yeah. Raiders 8 wins. Oh yeah. That's what the last thing. Team wins. I wanted to look. Let's see. Over. Oh my gosh, Cricket. Over under 6.5. They do have a tough schedule. We just went through. They do over under 6.5 wins. The over is favored at -125. Man, I feel like if you're optimistic on the Raiders, you do the DraftKings little alt thing. Maybe you go over 7.5, or I think you go over 8. So you have the opportunity to push, but you get a little extra, because 8.5. I feel like if you're really optimistic, you think the Raiders can have a winning season. You get to 9 wins. If everything pans out, I mean, they could get to 9 wins. That's not crazy out there, but
no.
I feel like 6.5, man. I'm gonna have to look into this, man.
I like them to be closer to 500. I like the over for that team right there.